Talking Pirates cross country alongside head coach Andrew Diehl. I'm Kip McConnico. Pirates coming off a trip down to the Alamo City, the UIW Invitational. The men finished fifth, the women a good showing as well.
Yeah, we had a great races all around, 8K, 6K. Super tough course, much different than what we expected. They moved the course. It was a tough course. We competed well. Beating Trinity and TLU is always nice. So having a little pre-conference view there is always a little fun, but they're going to be in better shape in a couple weeks, and so are we. So it'll be fun at the conference championships. But we ran really, really well. I was happy with the team. It was a different course than we expected, but we went out and competed really well. And given the uphills, I was happy with our times for sure.
As you said, a different course than you expected. When we spoke last week, you anticipated something maybe a little shorter and certainly flatter. That was not the case. How did that affect your runners?
Oh boy, and that was pretty significant. When we were there 2 years ago, we were running around a lake, across a few soccer fields and some things like that, so super flat course. Well, they moved it to the other side of the park where there's a dam. It's got about a 45-degree incline uphill, and they added about 5 hills. Much tougher, much harder course to run. Definitely took a little more out of our legs than we anticipated it would. But it was true 8K, true 6K. It ran great. Like I said, tough course, but it was true, and we ran well. I think it's indicative of the work that our teams put in as far as our hill workouts, our strength and conditioning with Coach Norcott. Like it all kind of came through in that race, where I feel like if we would have had that same course, 2 weeks or 3 weeks before then, we probably would have seen some much different results. So it was a good gut check, and it was a good fitness strength check for us that we were very surprised with the results in a good way.
Good showing for both the Pirate men and women down at the UIW Invitational, a tough course there in San Antonio. And it sounds like you're going to be in store for another tough course this weekend, headed up to the University of Dallas.
Yeah, potentially. Never been there. I've heard some kind of mixed reviews about the course. We'll see what it's like when we get there. But heading up there for a 5K, run fast, going for some PRs and being a little aggressive with it. But it's our last race before conference, first time seeing Dallas, first time seeing Austin College this year. So it'll be good to see what they have in store. But also keeping it in check that it's a 5K, and our goal is 2 weeks from now when we're heading into the conference championships down in Kerrville. So that's all. It's all relative, but we're hoping for some good times as well. And heard it's a little hilly, but it's supposed to be a relatively flat course as well. So hopefully the description's right this time.
Coach, you said it. It's all about 2 weeks from now. The SCAC Conference Championships down in Kerrville. Shriner University hosting this year. How do you think your team is progressing? How are they stacking up at this point in the season with just 2 weeks until the championships?
We're right where we want to be. This past weekend, we ran really well on a tough course against other conference competition, and our goal is to be in the top 3 on the men's side. I think we're in a position that if we have a good day in a couple weeks, that's very doable for us. On the women's side, I think being in the top 4 is a good goal for us. Given what we ran this past weekend, and getting some people healthy, getting some people, back to 100% will definitely help us in trying to reach that goal. But again, Austin College being up there in Sherman, we don't see them too often. And Dallas, they've had a runner of the week a couple times, so I know their top runner is very good, but we'll see what it's like. 5K obviously being closer to the 6K distance for the women. Might be a little more of a conference preview this weekend for the women's side than necessarily the men's, but the men's team competed well, we're doing well, and we're in a good place. And the women's team, we're on the mend, had strong performances by everybody that competed, and we'll be back to full strength this weekend. So that'll be a good test for the ladies as well. And you're exactly right. 2 weeks away, conference championships. That's what we get geared up for. That's what we're shooting for, and we're hoping to make some noise.
Pirates headed up to the University of Dallas Invitational this weekend, and then all sights turn to Kerrville for the conference championships 2 weeks from now. Coach, good luck this weekend.
Thanks for having me.